Hi everyone, Pastor Will here. This is episode 14 of the Forum Preview for this coming weekend, May 4th and 5th, 2024. And today we're discussing an important topic of how to promote civil discourse here at Emmanuel. And this topic, it's come up naturally because of our current political climate here in the United States, as well as the other contentious issues around the world, such as the conflicts between Israel and the Palestinian people and the people of Ukraine and Russia. But in addition, we also see this with ourselves, right? We see it in our homes, the political divide, the religious divide in our homes and in our families, and even here sometimes amongst the people of Emmanuel. And so we're witnessing this diminishing ability for us as a society to have civil discourse between each other, to come to the table, to agree with each other. Take this first cartoon as an example, where politics and the media have contributed much to where we find ourselves today as media and politics uncover the civil discourse to make it a course with a C-O-A-R-S-E. Or how about this other cartoon, Where's the Middle Ground? Like this cartoon with the donkey and the elephant representing our political parties, which used to be able to come together and find common ground. I'm thinking of President Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill, former Speaker of the House, how they would clash together maybe in front of the cameras and in the Capitol and the White House, but they in the evening would come together and have a drink together. So there was still some civility involved, but we don't see that here anymore. Even in Washington, D.C., they have restaurants just for Democrats and just for Republicans, that they continue to divide themselves beyond the 9-to-5 workday. But you know, the truth is that the course we've been down has been coming for a long time, and you and I both know that. And no one was worse at civil discourse than a man named Archie Bunker, and a show that you probably watched growing up called All in the Family. So we have a clip to show you from that show where Archie and his son-in-law, whom he lovingly calls Meathead, are discussing the 1976 presidential election with Jimmy Carter and Gerald Ford. So check that clip out.
You're not the only guy to have an operation, to be stuck in a house for a week, or to be out of a job.
Dry up, and I hope you ain't got your butt in my chair.
No, I'm sitting on the couch, Archie.
Because I'm coming down, and I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what Edith says. I'm coming down, Edith. And bring me a beer. A beer, a beer, a beer. Not in a minute, right now. Or I rip out my stitches. Hey, canal boats over the coffee table.
Your nice cold beer.
Why did you pour it from the can into the glass? It loses so much through the air.
I thought it would be nice for a change.
Just remember, I hate change. Oh, jeez, now I know why you done that, little creature, board, and you're Persian it with the medicine, huh?
Come on, Archie, drink it. It's for your own good.
I don't want nothing for my own good. Take it into the kitchen there. Spread it around the floor. It'll blind all the roaches.
Archie, come on.
No, get it away from me. I ain't taking that medicine.
All right, but I'll get it in something.
Well, that something's going to be thrown against the wall, so it better not be cream of wheat.
Just because you have problems, you don't have to take it out on the family. We didn't cause your unemployment. The whole country's got that problem. You want to get mad. You get mad at the guys who are responsible, the guys in the White House.
Ah, come on, will you? The White House ain't got nothing to do with what's going on in this country.
President Ford is supposed to be responsible for the state of the economy, the high cost of living, and unemployment.
Will you lay off Ford? He's doing a hell of a good job for a guy that got kicked in the head playing ball. And I'll tell you something else, wise guy. Between Jerry Ford and Jerry Carter, I know which way I'm going.
It's too bad you couldn't vote for your real favorite, Jerry Reagan.
Yes, buddy. Yes. Tell you something else about this guy, Carter. He takes that big smile out of his face every night and puts it in the glass.
He doesn't have false teeth.
Oh, Joe Foley told me he read that in the National Enquirer, the only paper where you read the truth nowadays. I'll tell you another thing that was in there. If Carter becomes president there, he's going to sell more wheat than ever to the Ruskies. Why? So the Ruskies will make more bread than ever. Why? So that Carter can sell them the peanut butter to smear on it.
I don't want to argue with you, Arch. Maybe by the time Joey's grown up, we'll have an administration that'll listen.
I can't wait for that. Meantime, who's taking care of the regular Americans like me, huh? The Anglo-Saxons.
As opposed to the tennis Saxons and the alto Saxons?
Listen, a colored guy gets in trouble, he runs right away to the NCAAPP. An Italian guy gets in trouble, he runs over to see the Pope if he can scratch up the airfare. If not, he hops a bus to Jersey to see Sinatra. And you do anything to a Jew, whoa, boy. Hey, the whole Israel Air Force swoops down on you and kick it the crapola out of you. But who's doing anything for me?
Arch, you're not alone. You got me, Ma, Glory, and Joey.
Oh, geez, what a backfield. Meat-headed dingbat, a woman's liver, and a bald-headed kid.
So what'd you think about that? I mean, given where we are, the question now becomes, is civil discourse dead? Is there any hope for us as a people, as a country? I, for one, don't believe that at all. I mean, as with God's grace, we're given the opportunity to start over, right? To change our ways, to return to this love and respect for our neighbors, even if we don't agree with what they think or what they believe. I love this quote here from former President John F. Kennedy. He says, "So let us begin anew, remembering on both sides that civility is not a sign of weakness and sincerity. That civility is not a sign of weakness and sincerity is always a subject to proof. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. Let both sides explore what problems unite us instead of belaboring those problems which divide us." And you know, one of President Kennedy's idols was Abraham Lincoln, who said, as I'm sure you and I can all quote, "A house divided cannot stand." And so civility is really not something we can go down to the pharmacy and get a pill to take. And you get a prescription and then all of a sudden you're civil with one another. It's something that you and I are called to practice together. And this quote sums it up well. Civility is the art and the act of caring for others. It's an art and an act, and therefore it has to be practiced. Very few can pick up a paintbrush, right, and make a masterpiece. It takes thousands of hours. It takes time and effort and practice. And that's what we're talking about here when it comes to doing civil discourse at Emmanuel. We would like to have civil conversations together as a congregation on deep and relevant topics because we have the ability here with our forums to practice civil discourse. And so to help us practice that, we've taken the liberty and borrowed these tenets for civil discourse from the Episcopal Church. And I'm sure they don't mind because we're working together, right, along the same path. So now we'll have copies of these for you at the forum. And our plan is to create a larger poster for these printed out as a reminder for us in our forums to practice civil discourse with one another. But let's go through them now to familiarize ourselves with these tenets. We have respect. Respect each person you meet and take the time to truly consider what they are saying. Respond. Don't react. No blaming, shaming, or attacking another person. Doing this does not mean accepting or upholding their ideas as your own. Rather, it can help us understand the other person's perspective. It can help us build our knowledge for future conversations. And it can help us open our minds to previously unfamiliar ideas, especially important even if we continue to disagree with them. So there's respect. There's listen deeply. We listen to what the person is saying, focused on the ideas presented, and we discuss the ideas and the issues, not the person themselves. So we don't start side conversations as they distract from the engagement and listening of the conversation of the group. And we don't interrupt others while they are speaking. We have speak for yourself. That is to say, use I statements when you're commenting or responding to someone. Share your own personal experiences and own them. We have try to understand. Try to understand one another, the thoughts and ideas of each other. Ask questions for clarification. Note, sometimes we may be discussing the same thing, yet using different words, right? So make sure to pay attention to such areas of misunderstanding and try to seek clarification when there's any confusion. There's also sharing our talk time together. If you're having a discussion, especially in our forums, make sure everyone has the opportunity to speak before speaking again. And so we encourage you to bring a pen and paper. Take notes if there's things you want to follow up on, and ask other people what they think. So we've got respect, listen deeply, speak for yourself, try to understand, share talk time, speak with humility. We may not know everything about what the topic is at hand. And so your and I's experience may not be that of another person's. So lean into what you know, lean into your experience, but remain open to other people's experiences and what they're sharing. Then there's gratitude, which is very important. If what someone has shared or asked helps you with learning about something, a topic or something like that, say thank you to them. Thank yous go a long way. We all know that. Suspend your judgment. Suspend judgment. We all have our presumptions, our biases, our stereotypes, our judgments, our prejudices, and we all take those into these conversations with each other. So try to suspend them and seek to understand the other person's point of view. There's disagree and love. Did you know we could disagree and love each other? We try to learn. We try to listen. We can disagree with someone and still love them and listen to them. Civil discourse is all about that, listening and learning together, seeking to share understanding and exposure to the new ideas in pursuit of improving the world, because we'd all like to see the world better than we left it, right? And also fulfilling our call as followers of Jesus. And we'll talk about that more in a minute. Then there's practice forgiveness, which is a big thing, not just for human beings, but for us Christians. We're called to practice to forgive 7 times 70, right? We learn from trying things out, and sometimes we make mistakes. We will make mistakes, in fact. So we seek to forgive and to be forgiven as we learn together. And finally, there's pay attention. And that means pay attention to your thoughts and your feelings. If you don't feel safe asking a question or commenting on a topic, write it down and ask someone you're more comfortable with to help you voice it to the group or to talk it through with you. If someone's hurt your feelings, acknowledge that the comment hurt your feelings and explain why. It's different to say no worries because you think that the other person will think that you didn't hurt them. But when you say you hurt me, that acknowledges it, and they know then what has happened, and they can seek forgiveness. Be open to others sharing that with you as well. So we have these 11 tenets: respect, deep listening, speaking for ourselves, trying to understand the other's point of view, sharing the time to talk with each other, speaking with humility, being humble, gratitude, thanking someone, especially if we learn something new, suspending our judgment of each other and our points of view, disagreeing, which is okay, but also loving at the same time. I think "and" is the most important word in there. You can disagree, but also love while you're doing it. Practice forgiveness, which is huge, and pay attention to each other's thoughts and feelings. And as I said earlier, it's a part of our call to practice these things, to practice civil discourse as followers of Jesus. So I want to leave you with this short video. It's a song, actually. It's from Colossians, which really sums up our call as Christians in this practice of civil discourse. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please, if you liked it, hit that thumbs up button. And if you have not subscribed yet, hit the bell so you can receive these videos ahead of time on your phone, because we know most of you watch these on your phone. And we hope you join us this weekend at the Forum before the Saturday service at 4 o'clock and between the Sunday services at 9:30. I'll be there hosting this week's Forum as we continue our conversation on these tenets of civil discourse and just in general talk about the civil discourse currently going on in our society, in our country, and around the world. Thank you so much. God bless you all. God is with you. Take care.
1, 2, 3, 4. Colossians 3:12 through 17. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and wait for it, patience. That's right. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace and be thankful. Let the message of Christ dwell among you richly as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom, through psalms, hymns, and songs from the Spirit, singing to God with gratitude in your hearts. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through Him. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and wait for it, patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect